Hey guys, in today's video I wanted to show you what I'm going to do to try to clean out the mold built up on the rubber seal on my washer here. Now I've been noticing some unpleasant smell coming from it, and I have a feeling it's because of this. I do occasionally throw in a cleaning tablet and I run a cycle to wash the inside, but with these front loaded washers you tend to notice more built up around these rubber seal here. As you can see, there's a lot of mold here. So I have a few items that I put together. I have a Clorox bleach here that basically just, cleans it out. It's a heavy cleaner. And then I also have a disinfecting multi-surface cleaner. You can use anything really, like Lysol or just really any multi-surface cleaner. And then finally, I was browsing online and I found that some people were using Poshock, which tends to be very helpful in cleaning out mold. So I'm going to give this a try and I'm going to show you how it goes at the end. I'm going to start with the multi-surface cleaner here, and of course you want to have like a little sponge to brush off the mold, and then make sure to have some gloves as well, just because especially when you're using the bleach, you don't want to get those on your hands. All right, so I'm gonna get started here. Because the stains and the mold on this rubber seal is a bit stubborn at this point, I'm going to go ahead and spray it down with the multi-surface cleaner, and I'm gonna add some Clorox directly on it as well. And you might want to wear a mask when doing this because the smell from the bleach is quite strong. And then I'm just going to brush it down like that, just to make sure I try to get off as much of the mold as possible and coat every crevices and nooks and crannies in here. And I'm going to do this for the entire seal. And once that is done, we're going to add the Poshock. Alright, so I went ahead and cleaned the entire rubber seal with bleach and the multi-purpose cleaner. And as you can see, the stains are pretty much still there, but that's okay because these are pretty stubborn stains that's been around for like over a year. So now we're going to jump into the Polecare shock. And I'm basically going to just put some on my hand, the powder, and just rub it along the edges of the rubber seal. And once I coat the entire thing, I'm just going to leave it there for about 20 to 30 minutes. And keep in mind that you want to focus more on the bottom, just because there's more mold built up on the bottom of the seal than up top, just because water residue builds up on the bottom. So I'm going to start with just a little bit here. And you don't need to use too much of this. And in fact, you can also just put it on your hands like that, and then just brush it along the rubber seal like that. And then this releases chlorine gas, so you want to make sure to not breathe in the gas too much. But yeah, that's the idea. You just want to, it might be easier to get some on your palm like that instead of just get it into the crevices here like that. And don't worry about getting it into the washer as well, just because we're going to run a cycle after this. But yes, so make sure to coat as much as you can, and I'll get back to you shortly after. Alright, so it's been about 20 minutes, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to rinse off the Poshock with the remaining bleach water solution that I have here, just to try to get them off as much as possible. And you just want to try to get the powder off the rubber seal before we run the cleaning cycle. So just do that around the edge, and we're going to run the cycle later. Alright, so I basically rinsed off the entire rubber seal here, and before we run the cycle, I'm just going to throw in one of these washing cleaner tablets, and we're going to run the cycle. So I'm going to put that in, close it, and we're going to run a cleaning cycle, which I believe is just a speed wash. So we're going to do that, and just let it run. So the pull shock might cause it to steam a little inside, and it will get a little hot when you open the door. So just be careful of that, but we're just gonna let this run for now. All right, so the cycle is done, and again, when you open it, just beware there's some smell from the chlorine, so just beware of that. But as you can see, it did a pretty good job. Obviously there are some remaining stains, but compared to the if you look at the early video, it's a lot worse here. So it definitely cleaned it up pretty well, but there is still some soap around here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to run this again, and I'm gonna just wipe it down, because you don't want any residual pull shock to be on your drum. It might degrade the metal over time. But yeah, it definitely helped. So definitely try it out and let me know how it works for you.